Hello and very warm welcome everyone. It's Marta here. Welcome back. My friends, thank you so very much. So many of you has liked my last video with this corner punches and so many new friends joining my YouTube channel. A very warm welcome to all of you. And today I'm actually gonna be creating some quick and simple cards. I had slightly different idea for the video, but I have so many leftovers that I don't want to put them to my scrap drawer. I have this one simple rule that whenever I finish some fancy card order and I have plenty of this little leftover pieces, I'm usually taking like 30 minutes up to 1 hour to create some simple cards out of it, because that way it helps me to keep my scraps pile under the control and it's not overgrowing excessively. Now I am creating the simple card base. It's 5 7/8 by 4 3/4 or 4.5, sorry. And here I have couple doilies with the corner punch, and this is the card from the last video. I failed to mention that it was a 5.5 inch size circle, and I also had a play with different sizes, and as you can see, you're not always end up with the perfect like a circular doily, but you can cover it up with some flowers or a bow, something like that. So don't get discouraged if it's not gonna work out for you. Try different size of the circle. I am still trying to figure it out, all of it myself. And it will be various for different circular corner punches, because they may have slightly different size as well. So it's just a matter of trying and see which size are working for your corner punches. Now I have some beautiful leftover pieces from the craft o'clock papers. I was creating personalized card with the bag, and here I have this doily. I accidentally cut off with the wrong paper. I was aiming for different look. Here is the bag for the personalized card I create. Let me know down below in a comment if you would like to see the video with this bag. I think this could be handy for, especially with the Christmas around the corner, whenever you create this lovely fancy card with lots of layers dimension. This would be a great packaging for the card or for a present as well, because there could be something small there like a book or something else you can include as a present there. So give me a shout if you would like to see the full tutorial for it. Here I cut the front panel, which is slightly smaller than the card base, and I am distressing it. I took this piercing tool and I just randomly go with my free hand creating this stitching pattern all around the edges, and then I add a dash of the brown ink to the edges, and then I am using this very old, and you can see the stamp is well loved. It's already all yellow, but I just love it. I think adding this text to the background, it's really creating this nice interesting look. And this was the freebie from the crafting magazine. I think it was Creative Stamping magazine, if I'm right. And it's just a simple text stamp. And here this is the doily. This one comes from the Card Making Magic. This was an exclusive brand owned by Craftstash, and I'm so sorry they are no longer available. And I need to tell you, my friends, that in my crafting studio, especially for the new friends who recently joined my channel, I do use lots of the older gear. I have tons of the dies which I've purchased over the years. I have some papers or different stamps, things which I received through my design team collaboration over the years, and I'm keep reusing the same things. I'm not buying too many new things. So definitely, if you're following my crafting journey, I'm so sorry that I'm not giving you the latest release reviews and things like that, I'm using the things which are already retired. but this is money, and crafting gear is expensive. I don't want to break a bank to buy something which I already have something similar. There's lots of the things which are repetitive, like obviously there are coming so many beautiful, lovely new dies and stamps, but if I have something in a similar shape or style, I'm not always keen on purchasing all these new releases. So this is one thing I just want to let you know, that if you're joining my YouTube channel, you can expect that I'll be quite often saying that, oh, this is already retired, this is no longer available. But I'm sure that if you're crafting, if you have some bits and bobs, you can always find some sort of a replacement for the things I am reusing here. Like here I have this doily made with the corner punch, so you can grab your corner punch and create something similar. And for this large mandala die, you can actually cut like a couple of if you've got some lacy leaves or some other fancy circle things like that, and you can just glue it underneath, or use some other bits, or for example lace. If you've got the lacy ribbon, you can also add it as well for this fancy look, or just create something else, just add some other shapes as well. This is just a purely inspiration to give you a rough idea what you can do with your own supplies and how you can style it. Here I added two flowers cut out from the paper, a little bow which was made from the nylon cord, and I'm adding the sentiment. And this is a chipboard quotes which are also coming from the same company, Craft O'Clock, same as the papers. And here to balance this little chipboard, I am adding additional piece of the cardboard. And one tip I want to give you, you could see here I was cutting out the flowers from the design paper. If you've got some old papers with some floral images, things like that, you can also use them up as ephemera pieces. Just free cut couple extra foliage from the paper, and you can use them up as your extras. So for finishing up my first card, I use couple of the golden pearls, and this card is finished. For the second card, I choose up a couple of the extra strips I have, and here is the paper. I think I was trying to construct some box out of it, but I've missed them. I've put the wrong scoring line, so this is why I kept it as a leftover, and now I am using it as the card. The card I am creating today here, I think it's like a 7.5 by 4 inches. It's not really too much important the size. Sometimes I like to go a little bit extra, change things a little bit, create my cards a little bit wider or longer. Quite often I do my own envelopes as well, so I'm not too much bothered by that this card won't fit the envelope. If it's not gonna fit the particular size, I'm just putting it in a larger envelope, or I just custom make my own. Here, very simple quick idea. If you need a card in less than 5 minutes, this is what you can do. You place your card on the scoring board, and you start scoring like around half an inch from the scoring line from the card fold. I've created 4 scoring lines with like half an inch increments, like one by one, and now I am adding 3 paper strips in between those score lines. This is such an elegant and quick, simple look, and I just think that this is something superb with the card like that. It's so easy, and it's really looking nice and pretty. And then you can later on embellish these strips, add couple like a pearls on the top or on the bottom corner, something like that. There's so many different things you can end up with the design like that. This is just the entry idea for you to use, and then whatever you want, if you'd like, you can add some butterfly for example, or like a pearl or a flower on top of those line All you really need to do is just create a couple of the scoring lines and place 3 narrow strips in between those lines. Or you can experiment, that could be 2 strips as well. There's lots of different variation on how you can finish off this card. Here I've decided to use a little extra floral elements, and again I am reaching for the scrap piece with the floral image, and I am just fussy cutting it out of the paper, and that way I have this free ephemera design which I can add to the card, and most importantly this will be color matching with the paper strips because it's coming from the same piece of the cardstock, of the design paper, sorry. And here I am using the scissors just to roughly go around the edges. I'm not even super precise with my cutting because it will look good anyway. For the sentiment, I'm going to be using the sticker book from the Funky Fossil, and I will give you link down below to Sarah YouTube channel as well as to her shop. And especially for the friends who are from the UK, there's lots of different beautiful things Sarah is doing. She is like a one person company crafter who is doing lots of things by herself, but she's also helping other creators, inviting different crafters for lots of different collaboration. She is co-working with so many talented crafters, creating those little release. So I do encourage you to check her little shop as well. Here card number 2, before I finish chatting, it was already done. And now let's move on to the card number 3. Now I have this beautiful strip, wider strip with the floral design, and I thought it will be looking great over the DL size card. I'm just checking if this will be the right size. And I also have this paper, this kind of like a cream color cardstock left over, which was a cut out piece from the card base from the card number 2. So as you can see, you just chop those little bits and then you can reuse them for the next card, and then whatever you cut you can reuse on another card and another card. That way you're kind of you know, creating less paper waste. And believe me, I've been there, that sometimes when I put some scrap pieces in my drawer, they are lying there for weeks. So I've changed this strategy a little bit because my scrap pile was just overgrowing rapidly. I was just, you know, finished with some project. I was tossing the rest pieces to the drawer, and then when I started a new card, it was different papers, so I never came back to the old one, and the scraps were just overflowing. Now once I finish making the big card, I have a couple extra bits, like, you know, cut out from the packaging or the card, and leftover pieces. I am just using them for simple cards like that. Here today I actually spent 1 hour, and in this 1 hour time frame I've managed to create 5 cards. So I've used this cream color card and this strip of the paper to cut my mutton layer, and then I used this fancy corner punch with this like a revert circular shape to create this lovely shape on the on my mutton layer. I also decided I want to have a little piece of the brown color paper underneath, so that will create additional layer and interest to my card. And then I am just chopping it, so I will have this very thin white frame all around. And here you can see all these layers, how it's creating this nice look on the card. One thing I don't like here is to waste all this beautiful paper, because once I put this front mat underneath this layer, it will be covered. So my go-to tip is to use the trimmer, or you can use the scissors and you know, hand cut the shape, but I definitely encourage you to use some sort of a trimmer if you have. And my trick is to always put this piece of the washi tape, so that way it will act as the guide for you where to place your paper. This way it will take all the measurement of away from your head. You don't have to check it whether you've got the even spaces, and then you can very easily within a few seconds you can actually cut this ideal frame with all four even sides. Obviously the frame, it's not gonna be visible underneath the layer, but this is just an extra tip. Whenever you need to create the frame out of the paper, you can use the trick with the washi tape to make it easier. And here I am adding the glue to the and this front panel, and I am securing it on top of the cream color paper. And these two pieces, I just want to give them a little extra dimension, so I will back them up with the piece of the cardboard. You could use the double-sided foam tape or something like that, but I had this piece of the cardboard, so I thought this will work as well. And what is great with using this compressed cardboard, they are sometimes cheaper than all this like foam squares you have to use instead, and this is giving the card this very nice sturdy look. The card become way more stiff, and it's not even as heavy in case someone is worrying about the postage. So this compressed cardboard is quite lightweight anyway, so it's not gonna be adding too much weight to your card, but the card become dimensional and way more stiffer, so they are present nicely, and they don't very rarely they get wonky or things like that because they have this hard cardboard inside. To finish off my card, I am adding sentiment and couple of the Nuvo drops, and these are this like a stone effect one, so they have this nice rich texture to them. So I'm just creating couple different sizes drops here and there to create this random flow on my card. As the card number 3 is finished, I'm moving on to the next card. I had this leftover piece from the white card when I was creating this DL size card base, and I thought why not use this one as a little note card, so whenever you need to add some extra message to the present or something, this is always handy to have it as well. So here I am choosing this little extra corner pieces. I would normally put those to the bin, but because they had this extra floral design, I thought this could come handy. Let me just make sure I will make the most out of the papers I have. So here I have this piece which was like 4 inches. I scored it at 4 and 1/8 of the inch, so it's basically 4 by 4, so that will be a little extra note whenever you need to give someone like a gift card or like a coffee voucher or something. That could be quite handy as well. And this is the simplest design ever you can use. I'm just chopping the piece of the paper which is the same width as the card, and now I am just tearing it under the angle. It's super easy, but I think it's just looking fabulous. I just love this design. There's something in this tiered paper which just screaming handmade, so whoever you will give this little note to, they will know you just create it yourself, but it's just taken literally just like 3 minutes. So here I have this sentiment, and this is free digital sentiments. These are coming from the sympathy sentiments. I've created this guide with the sympathy cards because this is the one type of the cards which I am always struggling with. I think there's no crafter here who would like to create the sympathy card. So to make the job easier, if I can say so, I've created this free printable sentiment, and I also create the guide with like, I think it's like a 10 cards idea which you can use. And there's lots of different things there, not only with sympathy but some other like thinking of you, sentiments, things like that. This particular one says sending you healing hugs, so that will be for someone who is recovering after some surgery, or you know, different things. You can actually send this little quick note with like, I'm here if you need me, something like that. So here I added those two floral half images. They were cut from the leftover pieces, and my note is ready. And here this is the final card I'll be creating today. This rectangular shape was the cut out from the frame. So as you can see, when we stretch the papers, we are getting some free cards. Well, not exactly free, because we still use the paper for the card base, things like that. But this paper, if I wouldn't cut the frame from inside the frame, it would be just wasted, and that way it will serve me for another card. I've checked the length of it. It was like 6 inches, so I'm gonna be creating this almost 6 by 6 inch card. I am scoring it from A4 size paper, which is less than a 6 inches, but if you had 6 by 6 inch card, ready-made cards, you can use those ones as well. Mine will be like 5 and 7/8 by 5 and 7/8. So here I am trimming this strip just so it will fit nicely to my card. And once I'm happy with it, I will also trim additional piece of the paper you can see here. And they are having similar floral image. So I thought it will be looking like this is the one design almost like chopped in half. So I'm trying to kind of position the design so it's in a similar spot. So this is why I'm trimming this longer strip in both from both sides. And this was the paper I use up to create this bag, which I was sharing with you earlier. So here you can see I almost match up the design, and this card is also one of my favorite design for a quick and easy card. If you just need to create the card in like under 5 minutes, this is totally doable. You just need like a nice paper with some great, like a large focal image, and then you can cut it in half to create a little space either in the center or from the top, and dependingly you can do it towards the bottom as well, dependingly what's your design. And here I am just quickly adding those two pieces of the paper, and then I will add the sticker sentiment in the center. If I had a little extra more time, I would probably back this sentiment with additional like a floral image or a bow, something like that, with this nylon cord bow, or a couple extra, maybe like pearls, like create this little scattered pearls, but I was just running out of 1 hour frame, so I just thought, okay, let me just finish there. So here are all 5 cards together. This took me 1 hour, and I only used up the leftover pieces I had on my desk. Let me know what you think about these quick card ideas, if you would like to see more videos like that. Thank you so much for all your likes, shares and comments, and I hope to see you shortly. Have a wonderful day everyone, and bye bye.